Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things injustice. This is the week of November 28th, 2024. Happy Thanksgiving to our American neighbors, and hopefully your economy doesn't entirely crater into another Great Depression with all those threatened tariffs. Anyways, so current challenge, Rebirth Jessica Cruz. It's a 1-week repeat. Required characters are Flash, Sinestro, and Superman, who are all available in the store as cheaply as bronze, and gold. Her passive is Lantern's Might. Each Green Lantern on her team extends her special attack 2 by 1 hit and adds combat effects. Her combo ender has a chance for Kilowog to put the opponent in stasis with his ring. She's got 1325 attack and 1325 health. She was last available November 16th, 2023. And I think maybe we won't go into as much detail as we did back then, and if you want to, you can go back and watch that video. But what's amazing is she is every bit as good as she looks. She is a ridiculously good basic damage dealer. She's got the higher stats of a late game challenge character. She's got a ton of extra hits on her combo ender, making her great for gear cards that have a combo ender effect, like Power Drain with Razalgul Scimitar, or Health with Gauntlets of Azrael, where each combo ender hit can get the effect. So the way normal combos are, the tap combo, the first 3 hits are 2%. And if you get the combo ender, that's another 3%. So that's 2, 2, 2, 3. That's a total of 9% of her base stat as damage. She's got extra combo ender hits. So she's got an extra 5 combo ender hits that are 3, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So instead of getting the usual 9% damage, if she gets her combo ender, she gets 28% damage. So that's more than 3 times as much. The heavy combo ender is normally 4, 4, 4. She gets a 4th hit. So instead of doing the normal 12% of her damage stat as a heavy combo, she gets 16%. And besides the extra damage, the light combo ender, she's going to be doing 5 extra hits instead of the usual 4. So she's more than doubling her power generation from a tap combo that has the combo ender. And her heavy combo ender is wild that it's even better than expected. And it's maybe not as spectacular as her tap combo, but you get it every time. Let's see, the Kilowog part of her passive, putting the opponent in stasis, it works like a stun, so you can try to lean into it by giving Jessica Cruz Cloak of Destiny or Necron Scythe, so that after a combo ender, there's maybe a 30% chance of getting that stasis, which is essentially a 30% chance of stun. Now, she is so good as a basic damage dealer because of her combo ender extra hits. It's almost to the point where you could be very tempted to give up on the special 2 part of her passive, even when the team is set up for her to be a special 2 specialist. In a previous team, we had her teammates as being Hawkgirl for the faster tag in and tag out, and we used Red Lantern Hal Jordan with his ability to strip all the gears off the opponent from the start. Because he doesn't need Tentu Totem to do that. He doesn't need Master's Death Cart, and because we want to use those on Jessica Cruz. So what you're watching now is not that team. It is showcasing her on a Green Lantern team, which the more we play, the more we enjoy. Because she's good enough that she can shine properly without needing the usual Hawkgirl or Rebirth Raven. And it's funny, right? Because they're both Rebirth characters. There's really no Rebirth synergy there. Both John Stewart Green Lantern and Red Sun Green Lantern are acting as tanks. Red Sun Green Lantern, because of his passive, to not be stunned and not take critical damage. John Stewart, because of his invulnerability passive that helps the entire team. And he's also got gears to make him a little bit hardier. The last time we did this, we used Mother Box intentionally because sometimes it lets Jessica Cruz more easily handle opponents that start with power by draining it. Now, that's one benefit, but on the flip side, it makes it harder against opponents with 2 or more of the LexCorp gears because it reverses power drain and gives the opponent power. So, on the balance, I think not really worth it compared to how we're using it now with Enchantress Companion card. So a couple interesting things. When her special 2 is enhanced by having 2 Green Lantern teammates, it has so many hits and lasts so long and does so much damage that it can get past more than 1 invulnerability. And it's really easy because of that to get over the disappointment of only getting a few of her hits in against Astro Harness when you're facing an opponent with invulnerabilities, because the remaining hits do so much damage that it more than makes up for not getting your power back. I mean, this special 2, I think it lasts longer than pretty much anybody else's special 2 when you have a full Green Lantern team. And this is what saves us from needing Hawkgirl on team, because by the time she finishes, she's so close to running out the tag out clock that we don't need to worry about her being vulnerable, and we really can just tag her out after her special 2. It's not as good as Hawkgirl because whoever else we tag in still needs to kill time, but given how most fights go, that's good enough. I mean, we've gotten a little bit spoiled with Hawkgirl letting us tag in and tag out almost at will. We usually make a plan. Well, we have to make a plan against certain opponents where you want and need the option of tagging out. So I'm thinking specifically about Arkham Knight Batgirl saving an Arkham teammate. Not only does Arkham Knight Batgirl save her teammate by stunning, but Jessica Cruz's special 2 does so much damage that you lose the normal benefit of her special 2 taking a long time to finish, because Arkham Knight Batgirl will interrupt. And so instead of killing enough time so that you can tag her out right after you get unstunned from Arkham Knight Batgirl, you're stuck. So sometimes when you know that's a possibility, one of the things you should do with this team is to kill a little bit of time with Jessica Cruz before you do her special 2. Other problem that you run into with almost any other team, in the Tentu Totem world, is a power dampening team where you might not get enough power for a special 2. So Jessica Cruz's extra combo ender hits really help here, right? You might have reduced power generation, but you're also going to double it from what you can get from the combo. The first part of her special 2 is a swipe mini game, which I normally don't like, but it's pretty good and easy because each swipe is worth 10% than the more common 5%. It has great range on every hit, including the first hit, so you don't need to wait for the opponent to come into range to run at you. Makes it a lot easier to land the special 2 unblocked, because you can just basically run it off your tag in. This special is that perfect combination of high damage, multiple hits, the damage is reasonably distributed, and most importantly, it can knock out opponents on more than just the last hit, which allows you to sometimes avoid trouble with the characters that can dodge specials like Dawn of Justice Batman or Rebirth Wally West or somebody holding Mother Box. So the way the game classifies Jessica Cruz, even though it's not her name, she is a Green Lantern, and sometimes I actually have trouble remembering that and end up calling her Jessica Cruz Green Lantern instead of Rebirth Jessica Cruz. So despite being part of the Rebirth universe, she actually gets the most benefit from Green Lanterns, and she fits when you need to have a Green Lantern, when there's some sort of requirement for it. Now, because she's Rebirth, you may be tempted to make her role that of the basic damage dealer on a Rebirth team, just because having a basic damage dealer as a backup is important. Not necessary, but still important. But really, I think Jessica Cruz is too good to be just a support player on any team. And like I said, a Rebirth team is a funny thing, right? Not a lot of synergy. The only person that gets helped by being on a team of Rebirth characters, I think, is Wally West. And he gets a benefit to his passive where he will dodge specials more often. So it probably makes the most sense if you want a powerful team to put Jessica Cruz on a Green Lantern team. Now, if you're going to use her on a non-Green Lantern team, there are better options than a Rebirth team. I think the most important consideration in deciding between going Green Lantern, Rebirth, or just neither has to do with whether your cards are augmented. So when your cards are not augmented for crit chance and damage, each individual card, it's weaker. And you're going to maybe struggle a little bit more trying to win. So it makes sense to make your overall team, when we're talking composition and gears, make it as strong as possible. And that means putting a lot of strong cards together like Rebirth, which are high stat, even if there isn't a huge amount of synergy. On the other hand, if your cards are mostly augmented for crit chance and damage, it makes more sense to spread out the best cards to make the most number of different teams that can do well in multiplayer. And to me, in this case, that would be a Green Lantern team, because there are so many Green Lantern cards, like John Stewart Green Lantern, with not a lot of offensive potential. And I feel like there's an analogy here with the original strategy of getting to bonus battle 6, right? Use a team to get there as fast as you can. And once you get there, if you promote them enough, each member of that team as an individual gets stronger. So you can split them up into 3 different teams that can each handle bonus battle 6. All right, so that's week 31. Since the end of the 4-year repeating challenge cycle, we are still in uncharted territory. There are still 12 more missing challenge characters that may potentially be put in the schedule. And based on what happened since Gaslight Batman came back after an absence of years, the part where they were introducing new characters was alternating between the old 4-year cycle and the returning lost challenge characters. Looks like next week is going to be Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. And we've got just under 3 months left where they're going to need to start reintroducing the missing challenge characters if they want to continue the alternating pattern up until the end of the last challenge characters that have been in the regular schedule. So that's our countdown. We're getting close to it. I think, yeah, we're getting real close. So this week's multiplayer reward is Suicide Squad Joker Unhinged. His passive is Unhinged. The Joker can't wait to show you his toys. A powerful random effect will occur on his special one. After Joker defeats an opponent team member, he drives them insane and they will fight for you with reduced health. Can be triggered twice if using a team of 3 Suicide Squad characters. He's got 1400 attack, 1300 health. He was last available April 25th, 2024. Unlike the challenge cycle, nothing is missing from multiplayer rewards, and if the pattern holds, as it should, next week should be overpowered super. So, really high stats. Still, he is worse than a card with no passive. The passive, he would be better if he had no passive at all. The passive is actually detrimental to fights. He is a bad card in fights. I mean, you're going to eventually win, I think, but you have to waste time with your often weaker opponents. So when a card is driven insane according to his passive, it comes back. No passive, no gear effects, and 1/3 of the original health. So when you're fighting weaker characters, when you're farming, right, for credits and experience for maybe teammates, it slows it down because if you're using Joker, you temporarily replace him with a weaker card, unless you have literally no gears. 0 gear effects. So it's decreased damage output, you get a slower fight, which gives your opponents a chance to build power while they're off the screen. And that powerful random effect of poison, power drain, power gain, life drain, I'm still not a big fan of random effects on offense, especially if you can't control it. There is maybe one specific use case where if circumstances are perfect, say you're in Survivor facing much more powerful opponents and you can time it perfectly so that someone else does all the work, but Unhinged Joker gets the knockout, he could be useful, having the stats of a much higher powered opponent, but it's so rare. His only saving grace to make him not the absolute worst character ever is that he is helpful to Suicide Squad Harley Quinn if you don't have the regular better Suicide Squad Joker who has similar stats and an actually useful passive instead of a passive that makes him worse. Because either Suicide Squad Joker can be used by Harley Quinn on her special 2 when you get the Joker card and they come in and do a reasonably high damage attack. In the store, we have the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn bundle. It's $24.99 Canadian, because that's the only currency that matters. It is a corroborating include next week's challenge. It comes with 100,000 credits. It does not unlock her in her store, so it's not a great deal. Wait till next week. Then you can unlock her in store when you do her challenge. Character bundle Batman vs. Superman second week. We talked about it more last week. And there is a Blackest Night Pack 1 for $24.99 Canadian. It comes with Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, and Batman. You're missing Doomsday, and you're missing the best Blackest Night character, Flash. And also Superman, I guess. But really the key is, I think, if there's one Blackest Night character you'd want in a pack like that, it would be Flash. Let's see what else. Other packs, they're all old packs. They've been in there for forever, or at least 3 years. And Phantom Zone has 1 more week left. Fight 62 is still broken. And there's double experience points, probably for American Thanksgiving. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was Lex Luthor, Batman, and Doomsday. This coming weekend is probably going to be Bane, Killer Frost, and Ares. There's a link in the description to a thread in the Injustice Mobile subreddit from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. So, as far as the current glitches go, we go into a lot more detail every time something significant changes, which did not happen this week. However, even if nothing changes, we still do a more detailed review once a month, the first week of every month. Most recently, that was a recap from November the 7th. The main thing probably worth mentioning is that the challenge reset glitch has been confirmed to be working on this week's Rebirth Jessica Cruz challenge. And yeah, that's it. So this is where we like to give a big thank you to our patrons on Patreon. That would be Michael Devries, Irvin, Ruiz, Hoshi127, and Nora Klimek, who are supporting us on the credited level. And a big thank you to you for watching, and a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. We'll see you next time. Komoda.